This is Mama and Papa. Mama and Papa.
This was the first time a young Chinese girl met her adoptive American parents. Even though it was their first meeting, the girl's eyes didn't show fear or hesitation, only curiosity. This is a deeply moving true story. A baby girl abandoned in Chongqing was adopted by an American couple. From that moment, the wheels of fate began to turn, and a brand new life began. It turns out, a child surrounded by love really can grow into someone completely different. The girl's name is Vienna, and she grew up in a welfare institute in Chongqing. There are two main versions of her tragic backstory. Some say Vienna was abandoned by parents who preferred sons over daughters. Others say her parents died unexpectedly, and that's how she ended up in the orphanage. Either way, Vienna's beginnings were filled with hardship. In 2011, a couple named the Norlands came from the United States to adopt a child. The moment they saw Vienna, they fell in love with the sweet and innocent little girl. When the orphanage staff brought her over, Vienna probably didn't know what was going on. Her young face was full of confusion. Maybe she had never seen foreigners before. Instead of focusing on the toys, her eyes stayed fixed on the blonde-haired, blue-eyed adoptive mom in front of her. Looking at how adorable Vienna was, the couple's hearts nearly melted. The adoptive mom couldn't wait to pick her up and used her own playful ways to make her new daughter laugh. To get closer to Vienna, she brought out toys she had specially prepared. Vienna laughed and giggled non-stop. Then the mom even started learning some Chinese from the staff. Seeing how well the mom and daughter were bonding, the dad stood to the side, full of envy. When it was finally his turn to spend time with Vienna, the little girl burst into tears. Maybe she was scared of his bearded face. No matter how hard he tried, he just couldn't calm her down. Mom, heart-aching, quickly took Vienna into her arms and softly comforted her, temporarily revoking Dad's hugging privileges. In fact, this wasn't the couple's first time adopting children. Before Vienna, they had already adopted a brother and sister from Southeast Asia, and they also had one biological daughter. Though the Norlands weren't exactly billionaires in the US, they were considered upper middle class. The husband was a third-generation entrepreneur who ran his family business, and the household was financially very stable. Whether it was their financial situation or their experience with adoption, they met all the qualifications. That's one of the key reasons why the Chongqing orphanage was willing to entrust Vienna to them. After their older kids had grown up, the couple talked it over and decided to adopt another Chinese daughter. They had submitted the application 5 years earlier, and now, at last, they were finally approved. When they saw the adorable yet helpless little girl in front of them, their hearts melted. They immediately liked Vienna. While they waited for the adoption process to go through, the mom took the opportunity to ask the staff about Chinese ways of comforting and caring for children. Soon, the Norlands completed all the paperwork. With the help of a translator, the couple carefully took notes on Vienna's daily habits and personality traits. After just 2 days together, Vienna seemed to have accepted her new mom and dad. In the following days, the Norlands took Vienna sightseeing around Chongqing. They bought her new clothes and toys, and when they got back to the hotel, the mom used the Chinese phrases she'd just learned to keep talking to her daughter. Then, Vienna boarded a flight with her new parents and began her brand new life in America. When they got home, the Norlands gave her an English name, Vienna, and showed her the room they had prepared just for her. It was spotless, filled with all kinds of toys that little kids love. Her older siblings were overjoyed to meet her, especially when they saw her chubby cheeks. They often played with Vienna and kept her company. Over time, Vienna no longer felt uneasy around her dad. Even with his big beard, she would reach out for hugs. To better care for Vienna, the Norlands hired a nanny to help with her daily needs. And every day, the dad would take out his phone to snap photos of Vienna, capturing little moments of her growth. That little girl who was once abandoned at an orphanage now had a family that loved her deeply, and day by day, she was being cherished into a little princess. During their free time, the Norlands often took Vienna out to have fun. The family would run and play together on the beach, and even when Vienna accidentally fell, her mom never scolded her. Instead, she encouraged her to get up bravely. They took Vienna on boat rides and fed antelope by the shore. Grandpa even let Vienna sit in the captain's seat and tried to teach his adopted granddaughter how to steer the boat. Nothing made her grandparents happier than having Vienna visit. Even in their old age, they would carry her all the way home on their backs and excitedly pull out all the toys they had saved just for her. On their big farm, Vienna was like a bird set free from a cage. Her dad, who was also a photographer, could only stand by and watch with a smile, wishing he could join in. When he found out Vienna loved the color red, he replaced all the furniture at home with red ones, just to make her happy. He even had matching red onesies custom-made for Vienna and her mom. Every night, her mom would read her bedtime stories, and even when grocery shopping, she barely wanted to put Vienna down. With her family's love and support, Vienna grew up carefree and joyful. The shy little girl she once was had completely disappeared, now replaced by a confident and optimistic young lady. Still, just because the Norlands adored Vienna didn't mean they spoiled her. As she got older, her dad started teaching her practical life skills. Before long, Vienna had learned how to fix small things around the house, which made the Norlands proud. They also fully supported her hobbies and interests. After asking what she liked, they signed her up for special classes. Vienna not only learned to play several instruments, but she also danced ballet with remarkable grace. As a father, her dad also made sure to give Vienna some important life lessons. One day, he took her to a restaurant and pretended he forgot his wallet. He then told Vienna she'd have to wash dishes to pay the bill. Though she didn't look too happy about it, she still took the task seriously and did a good job. Of course, the dad didn't do this to punish her. He wanted to teach her that even though she now lived a comfortable life, nothing in this world comes for free. If you want something, you have to work for it. Now, it's been 14 years since Vienna was adopted. From a helpless orphan to a confident, graceful young woman, her life began with hardship. But thankfully, fate brought her loving parents who gave her a second chance. With love as her foundation, that fragile seed has grown into a strong, beautiful flower. Since China officially opened up to international adoption in 1992, more than 160,000 children have been adopted by families overseas, with the United States accounting for the largest share at 29%. As China's economy developed, the number of abandoned children declined. In 2019, China announced it would no longer allow children to be adopted by families abroad, marking the end of the country's large-scale international adoption program.